afternoon, kiddos. This is Miss Roberts here to show you a little bit more from my personal personification poem that I am completing with you all. I had you guys work on this Thursday and Friday of last week. I need you to follow the instructions step by step, watch all the videos first, and then head over to the practice. The videos will show you how to do everything. So if you skip the videos and you go to the practice and you're like, I don't know what to do, you have to watch the videos, okay? That's your first step. So this is part of the personification poem. Before you even write your poem, you guys need to go outside and make a list of all the objects that you see out in your backyard, out in the front yard. And you can even expand on that list by describing everything you see. So just observe. This is a chance to make observations outside, collect information, collect what you see. Think of your senses. What do you see? What do you smell? What do you hear? What do you touch? What do you feel? So all of these senses are going to help you create your poems and bring them to life. Nature can give you a lot. This poem will be about nature. It will be based on nature, but you can have an underlying meaning. And when we walk outside, when you go for a walk around your neighborhood, you just make sure you observe and just think about what you see, hear, feel, taste, touch, whatever it is. You can even sit outside at nighttime. And I've had a lot of kids watch the stars and really listen to the difference between nighttime and daytime. You're really taking in all the elements around you, and you're going to put that onto paper. So if we were in the classroom, we would go on something called a nature walk as a class, and we would observe everything around us. And so this is my way of doing that outside of the classroom. So when I went into my backyard, I found pink flowers. I just made a list of everything I found: palm trees, the wind, the grass, and I'm going to say my grass, they have patches of brown, which we're trying to bring back to life. A tree stump, some birds. I saw some birds, a water hose, soil. So we think about everything that we see outside. So over here, remember, personification is giving human qualities to non-human things. So if we were to look at a pink flower, and I see my flowers in my backyard right now, they're kind of moved. It's breezy today, so they're kind of going back and forth in the breeze. And when I see that, it makes me think, oh, it looks like they're dancing. So to dance is a human quality / characteristic. Okay, and we're giving that human quality and characteristic to the pink flower. So it gives a visual. It allows us to really kind of imagine something greater than what we actually see. It gives a little bit more depth. I can even see the pink flowers speak. They're speaking. Pink flowers don't actually speak, but you're giving that human quality to say something about what the pink flowers look like outside. For me, the pink flowers are actually in bunches. So they're kind of bunched up together, and it looks like they're having a little conversation. So I could say that they speak. Palm trees to sway back and forth, that's a human quality, a human characteristic. The wind whispers. So when I hear the wind outside, it sounds like someone's like whisper, 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 whisper. So that again is a human quality and characteristic. And it says something about how the wind sounds. So the whispering shows the reader how the wind sounds. So grass, I know that there are some patches of brown. I'm trying to regrow some of the grass, and I'm going to say the grass fight. They fight for life. They're trying to fight to come back. So they're not actually fighting with fists and hands, or arguments, but they're fighting for their own life. So that could be something that I write. There is a tree stump that was chopped down before we moved in, and it's just kind of sitting there. It looks lonely. It looks a little sad. So I'm going to say the tree stump thinks or ponders. Ponders means to think about something. Birds chatter. So birds are chattering. I can even say birds talking. because when they tweet like a bird, it sounds like, they're having a conversation. The water hose, we see the water hose all wound up off to the side, and it looks like it's sleeping right now, if it could sleep. And then the soil inhales, it breathes in, because I see it, or even swallows. When it's when the sprinklers turn on, it tries to swallow water or breathe in life. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this list and you're going to turn it into a poem. And so here's the poem that I wrote. You have to have a minimum of 2 stanzas, 1 and 2. Notice the break in between. And I want you guys to apply what you learned last week about breaking up your lines to make it look like a poem. So everything that I have in bold is up here. This would be bold. If I were to turn this into a sentence, I would say, the palm trees sway back and forth. The wind whispers. See, notice how I turned that into a sentence. The brown patches of grass fight. The tree stump ponders or thinks. So I can turn these into sentences, and I did down here. So as I typed, I kind of thought about, I didn't give it a title yet. I gave it a title after I finished the poem. I was inspired from nature. I wanted to write about the start of a new day. So everything I see when I get up in the morning and I look outside, or I go outside in my backyard, I see the start of a new day beginning, hence the title, A New Beginning. So I'm going to read you my poem, what I wrote. The soil inhales and exhales as a new day begins. The sun peeks out from its hiding and breathes life into every surface. The clouds gather together to protect. A new day begins. Pink, delicate flowers dance and sway in harmony. The wind whispers a secret to live a fulfilled life. Keep going, they say, as they push along. I think I'm going to add the last line, a new day begins. I think I kind of want to repeat that. Repetition sounds kind of cool as I kind of notice it here, you notice it here. So I think it would make sense to end it on the same line. All right, so we're going to go back up. So notice the soil inhales and exhales. I had that right up here. The soil inhales, breathes in. I added it a little bit. The lines in between, I want you to extend that personification a little bit. Well, when does the soil exhale or inhale? Why is it exhaling or inhaling? Where is it exhaling and inhaling? How are they doing that? So that will be on the second line. So I'm answering the question of when. As the new day begins, the soil inhales and exhales. The sun peeks out from its hiding. So down here I'm answering the why. Why does the sun peek out from its hiding and breathes life into every surface? Because the sun wants to give life to every surface. The clouds gather together. And this is something I added. You don't have to strictly go off of your list up here. This is just to help you brainstorm. So I thought about, well, if I'm talking about the sun, well, I might as well talk about the clouds. And when I think of clouds, I look up at the clouds. It looks like they're all bunched up together. Actually, I might even want to add a simile here. The clouds gather together like a fluffy white pillow. Like a fluffy white pillow to protect. A new day begins. Okay, so here I'm answering maybe how, what does it look like? And then down here, I'm extending that by saying, well, why are the clouds gathering? Okay. So again, you have your personification and you have your when, why, how, where. You extend it on the next line to give some more detail, to give more to your poem. Because if your poem were just the soil inhales, the sun peeks out, the clouds gather, pink delicate flowers dance, it's not very poetic. It's just a run-on list. We don't want run-on lists. We want to sound rhythmic. We want to have a deeper meaning. We want to see more. So again, poetry The purpose of this is to be able to see more in the writing. Okay, if you were to just make a list of personification, that's just a list and it sounds like a robot. You sound robotic. But if we fill in, if we fill in between the lines more description, you can even add a simile, you can add a metaphor. If we fill in between the lines more description, it breathes life into your writing. Okay, so the more description in poetry, the better. Obviously, you don't want to have like pages and pages of description because then it can get redundant and repetitive. But really make sure you do your best to see and how you can add more to that personification. So down here, I added personification kind of in every line, but it's also adding to the description of the personification above. So pink, delicate flowers dance and sway in harmony. So the wind whispers a secret to live a fulfilled life. Keep going, they say, as they push us along, a new day begins. So right here is personification because I'm continuing to extend, well, what is the wind whispering? What secret is the wind saying? Well, they're saying to keep going. Wind can't actually talk. You can add dialogue, but wind, they're not going to actually say keep going. Hence the reason why this is personification. Okay? All right, so this is my poem. And I want you guys to make sure you're getting it done. I will be checking these. These are due by Friday of this week. So we're having another poem assigned on Wednesday in a couple of days. So make sure you stay on top of it. All right, have a good one.